Vincent, tell us about your hobbies, your likes and dislikes.
I specifically don't have hobbies, but when I get time, I like reading, I like knitting, I do makeups, and sometimes, time to time, I like taking care of my indoor plants.
And recently you have come out as gay on social media. So, did you have difficulty in doing so?
As coming out as gay, no lah, because as a child only, I was in a very good environment, supportive, be it a family support or friend support. I had like very good support. So, and I was like really open about who I was, like feminine and open-minded, open. So when I came out as gay, most people weren't like shocked. They were accepting. They knew, they knew already.
So, it seems like your family and friends already knew Mona.
Yes.
But have you ever tried to talk with them about your
About
being
my
different?
being different. Like some family members who I were very close to, I talked. At first I didn't know what LGBT was, but after a while, my brother like introduced me like the topic about LGBT and all. So that helped me a lot to know who I really was. So I wasn't confused. So talking about it was comfortable.
How different is your life as gay?
There isn't much difference. The only difference would be that before I was just closeted. I didn't tell anyone that I was gay, but now I am out and I'm basically same.
Was there a moment in your life, especially when you're young, that you realized that you're different than others? What was that one specific moment?
I would say there wasn't any like that kind of moment because I was always attracted to those girly things, no? So when I found out about the LGBT, so that automatically connected to what I was. So there wasn't much like a spark. So it was gradual knowing I was gay. So there wasn't like a shock to me.
I have actually few guy friends who are straight, and they, I think when they were young, some of them would enjoy playing with dolls. They liked pink colors.
Yes.
So, but I think, does it really define, like whatever your choices are when you are younger, does it define what you are going to become when you are grown up?
I think no lah. Sexually, I think when we are like when we grow up, no lah, when we grow up, there are like certain things that changes, like developing our feelings towards someone. No? So during that time, I think that is the main time where you know that what sexuality you are, because when you develop feelings for someone, you know that whom you or which gender you are like attracted to. So for me it was guys. So I knew that time.
So the moment you fell in love with
Yes,
someone,
no.
you realized
Yes.
that you're different. I think although Bhutanese, we say we are broad-minded, but somehow I think there are certain section of our society who are still conservative and can be judgmental as well. So when you were growing up, since you were a little different, so did you face any discriminations, especially in school among your friends? Were you ever bullied?
Bullied as such, there wasn't much, but discrimination and teasing, name calling was there. But as we all know, children can be like brutally honest and all. So that was all like all fun in games. So when I reflect back, I don't really mind, because I know that they didn't mean it. So discrimination and as such, there, I think for me personally, I know there are some gays that they have like really hard life. They grew up in a very harsh environment. They got bullied, they got beaten up. So luckily I didn't have all those.
And currently you're working as a makeup artist in your own studio,
Yes.
in your own salon. So tell us about your journey to this profession.
As a child only, I was a bit creative. I liked art, doing crafts, and drawing and painting was a kind of a hobby for me when I was a child. So that kind of grew into a makeup, doing art on face. So that led me to become a beautician.
And maybe in simple words, how do you define your passion for being a makeup artist?
For me, makeup artist art, makeup. I think for me, makeup isn't just for just to beautify, to beautify oneself. For me, makeup is an art. It's kind of a meditation for me. It makes me it makes me feel relaxed. So I do makeup when I'm stressed. To when I get time, when I'm sad, I do makeup just to feel the joy. So that is the passion for my makeup.
So being different, did you face any difficulty, especially availing equal opportunity in availing business or public services?
I think as gay guy, we don't face much difficulties because as gay guy, you are not like completely opposite gender. I didn't face much difficulties availing those services because most of the time, if I want, I could look like straight guy. So there isn't much even if I was out as gay, there isn't much they could stop me from availing those things just because I was different.
Especially, I think when you walk into a restaurant, maybe you're wearing makeup and you're wearing go. Do you feel people notice you, or do you feel people treat you differently, or do you feel you don't bother?
Treating me different, I don't think they treat me different just because I'm wearing makeup. People do stare at me and a guy doing a makeup and walking around. I think it's a bit odd,
Yes.
but I have passed the phase that I notices people staring at me. So mostly I don't notice people staring at me.
Bhutan recently lifted ban on gay sex. What are your thoughts on this?
For me, it's mostly, I think, a relief. Just when I found out that there was such a law, it was disheartening that for being who I really was like a crime. So after lifting that ban, it was much relief that to know that we LGBT people could really show up, could show who they really were.
And you feel anything natural is not criminal, no?
Yes.
Okay. And you are official member of LGBT community in Bhutan. So what are the benefits of being a member?
Member, I think would be the benefits would be we get a lot of awareness programs. We get to attend a lot of awareness programs, and we get skill buildings program as well.
Although LGBTQ is quite well known in West, but it's still new in Bhutan, and I think most people are not aware of this acronym LGBTQ.
Yes.
Would you explain this in simple words?
It's basic it's just L means lesbian, lesbian means female who is sexually attracted to females. LG means gay. Gay means man sexually attracted to another man. So LGBT bi is someone who is sexually attracted to both female and male.
Bisexual.
Yes. And T means trans. Trans, I think most people are confused with trans and the Q. T and Q la. Trans is someone who is like who don't feel comfortable with the gender they are assigned by birth or biological la. So they want to be the they want to be referred and they want to be oriented by their other sexual orientation.
So trans is basically a man trapped in a woman's body.
Yes, even a woman trapped in
Man's body.
man's body.
Okay, and Q.
Same. Q is just a questioning face la. Questioning face whether who you are. No, the questioning. There are some who, especially it's between the puberty time la, like when they find out no who they are really attracted to, but they are confused how to like what their sexual orientation really is.
So queer, right? Q
Yes,
is for
ma'am.
queer. So does it mean that a queer person can turn into trans? And what are the basic challenges faced by the members of LGBTQ community in Bhutan?
Challenges in Bhutan. I think I would say mostly for trans la, they really want to be the other gender la. So for them to get that legally changed, I think that's a challenge la, for them. They can't more la, that sorry, for now it's new for whole community is new for them, so it's difficult for how to get their gender changed for their identification, ID cards and all. So it's new for all. They don't know what to do, so it is a challenge la. And for others, I would say the lack of knowledge for people, the society. They think that being LGBT is a choice, but it's not. It's mostly I think it's born. We are born this way. We can't change. People say that we have to change. We can change, but it's completely opposite. We can't change. It's not. We didn't choose to be who we are, and it's how we were born.
Right. I think most people think it's a phase.
Yes.
You're confused, but I think it's the most natural thing. You're
Yes,
born
no.
like that. Okay, and I think most people also get confused between trans and gay. So what's the difference between transgender and being gay?
For gay, they won't change. Like they are comfortable with the gender they are la. So they won't have. It's just about the attraction, the sexual attraction towards other male wala. So for trans, it's more about like the orientation. They want to be referred to like the other gender. If I was a male, I would be want to call as a female. I want others to use pronoun as she, her, and if I was a woman, and I would want to be called as he, him, like that, and the dressing and the dressing and all would be all completely opposite.
So in simple words, I think being gay is you're comfortable with your body,
Yes,
but you're just
attracted to
the
other
opposite,
same gender.
Same gender, sorry.
Same gender.
And for trans, they are absolutely not happy
Not
with their
happy
body.
with- yes,
They're kind of suffocating, actually.
Yes, trans is not just changing male to female. It's also female to male. There's trans men, trans women.
If there's one thing you could change about your life, what would that be?
I would change nothing. I'm happy with who I am right now, where I am, how I'm doing. I'm really happy with whatever happening around me right now.
And especially, I think you're very lucky because your family, your friends really supported you.
Yes.
And they already knew about your identity and being different. So what would you advise the other family members and friends maybe if they have somebody different in the family, how should they treat them?
I think both the LGBT member and the family member should have time to discuss, because it takes time to adjust, those kind of news and all. So they have to have a proper discussion. They need time to fit in. They shouldn't act harshly. They shouldn't act very quick to judge. They should act calmly. They should even though if you don't support them, just try to understand them, just try to understand what they are going through. It's vice versa. We have to being an LGBT member, I have to understand my family member as well, because being an LGBT member is kind of a shock to a family as well. So they need time to adjust. We both need time to adjust. So time is the main thing. So even if it's for the member or the for even if you're coming out.
Take your time.
Yes.
Okay. And as member of the LGBT community, what are your thoughts on the potentials of other members of the LGBT community?
We can do what others can do. It's just that most due to the stigmas and discrimination, many LGBT members are they can't continue their education or build their social animal. So most people are left behind, most LGBT members are left behind because of those things. So if we get the equal opportunity, if people understands even if people understands how we really feel and how what we really are, and we can't change, and if they accept us in the society, we can we can do whatever things that other people can do.
And I think we also were discussing about this, especially it's the transgender who are facing more challenges to get employed in the society. And then I have seen some interviews of Deshin Selden as well. So what could be the reason? I'm sure you discuss within your community, you might have attended their meetings, and then what could be the reason that they had to stop their education after a certain time? Most of them are not, I think they discontinue their education.
Yes.
So what could be the reason, and how can maybe the government or society help?
I think as they want to change the gender, so changing gender is not easy. It's not an easy thing. So it can be a challenge. So when you are male by birth but want to be a female, it's hard for society to accept them. So it's mostly getting teased, name called, and getting bullied. So they can't handle much. Well, as a child, it's very traumatizing. So moreover, they leave school. They don't want to continue education just because they're getting bullied, getting beaten up. And
so usually it's they decide for themselves.
yes.
Okay. Wow,
Just because society is being too harsh on them, for them being too harsh on them just because they want to change gender or they are different. So,
as an aspiring entrepreneur and for being different, what would be your advice for our viewers?
I would say do what you are most interested to, because the job that you do when you are interested in doing, I think it's more fun to do. It's for me, I have always dreamed on being a beautician, being a makeup artist. Right now, I am living that dream. So for me, working is like a new adventure every day. So I look forward to do my job. So it's not that I drag myself every day to do work. Like, just because I love my job, I take interest in what I do. So I love doing what I do. So because of that, I think my services are more I think more satisfying for my customers lah. Just because what I do is what I love more lah. So I would say do what you love lah, no matter what society like thinks lah.
Basically, follow your passion.
Yes.
So that makes you happier. And for being different, for being gay, for example, maybe we have some viewers, maybe who are in that stage right now, where they're confused, and maybe they want to talk with someone, maybe their family or friends. What would be your advice for them?
I would say first, like accept yourself lah. Before expecting others to accept you, first you have to accept yourself lah. First you have to accept, and then gradually the person I would say most of the time you should surround yourself with positive people, the one who supports you and encourages you to do what you love. So if you are surrounded with those positive people and those supportive people, it's more comfortable for you to come out. And if you have that set of people around you, if the world turns against you also, it's not much of it doesn't hamper you emotionally. So I would say accept yourself, surround yourself with supportive and good people.
That's most important.
Yes.
And I personally feel that we are all created or born differently, and that's why we are all beautiful because of that. Thank you so much, Irazan Gili, for your time
Okay,
and
thank you so
sharing
much.
your insight.
Thank you so much for inviting me.